What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Segment Podcast. This is episode 48 with Joey Yates, Mr. Uncaged MTB. What's up, Joey?
Not much. Just another great night.
Dude, such a good opportunity for us. I love getting on here like on Thursday, Friday Eve, talking with you, talking to the community. God, we got Timothy Haley on board, MTB Rad Dad. We have Rich on two wheels, Air Blair already. Let's go, Rich says. Let's go. John, the bike guy, is on. Dang, we got a good squad already. So, folks, welcome to the Segment Podcast. And tonight we have a special guest. We have Scotty, the owner of Versus Tires, on the show. What's up, you? So we're going to bring him on, talk about Versus Tires, talk about how it all started. And Scotty, as a mountain biker, there's a lot of great things that Scotty's going to be able to share with us on that. What's up, EMTB A-Rod? Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. So, Joey, how's your week going so far?
I'm still living the high from Sky Park. Every time we go there, it just takes about a week or two to just love that. Yeah, that place is nothing but good times.
That place was so fun. Yeah. Dude, I can't believe how much dope it was. And then we had Dave, the photographer from the Reckless Riders. He was out there taking pictures of us. That was crazy.
I saw some of those photos. They looked great.
I saw the one of you like hucking the camel hump jump on Lower Arrow.
Oh yeah, that came from one of our videos. I think maybe Air Blair captured that on a phone.
Oh dang! Okay,
yeah,
that was insane. That was
a great little session. I mean, I don't think you should stop on the trails there, but later in the day, kind of thinned out, and we found a nice little place to pull over and session that for a little bit, and worked with Adam Mock on that jump. That was, good. That was a good little session.
That was. We had Adam Mock, Robert Sindick. We had Air Blair out there. And then it was like, it was like that 6 o'clock, almost 7 o'clock, almost shutting down. Not very many people out there. I remember when we were talking to Brad, the assistant general manager, we were like, yeah, maybe we were sessioning or not sessioning that jump, but it was awesome. he was stoked on it. So where are you thinking about riding this weekend, Joey?
I don't have any plans yet.
I know. I hear a lot of people are going out to Summit. I guess Summit's opening up Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, it sounds like.
Okay.
So I hear there's a squad going out there. Man, I don't know. I'm thinking about maybe staying local. I'm sure Summit might be a little packed with just being open for the weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be busy. Right? If I get up there, it'll be on a Monday.
Monday might be the day. That might be the day. We got MTB Rad Dad saying Vail. What do you guys think about Vail?
That might sound like a good place.
Get an early morning Vail ride after this heat advisory.
Always a good time.
That's always a good time, especially out there running those Versus tires at Vail. You could put them through the ringer out there with the Rocky Top, South Shore, North Shore, Fat Tire, and then obviously the classic, the good old Matco.
What's that new one that you showed me? Marlin?
Marlin. Yes. Has anybody done Marlin before? Yeah. That is such a flowy. What did you think about that one, Joey?
That one's high speeds. That's fun. Just flowy, fast.
So fun. Yeah. So fun. Crisco Bike is saying, I think y'all should come to me and ride the big rocks. Crisco Bike's out there in Boise, Idaho. He says Boise, Idaho is in the house.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Iker the biker says, it's too hot, Adam. Too hot to go to Vail. I don't know if Iker the biker knows where Adam is. Adam's in Palm Springs, so.
Oh, okay, yeah. Vail would probably be nice.
Yeah, especially if we go early, it'll be nice. And then I see Curtis Ellis is texting me here on the side. So Curtis Ellis is the VP of SPY, one of the VPs of SPY. And for the folks of you who are out there, I know MTBDH, I see Drew out there. He says, me, John Kelly, and Ian are going on Saturday. Ian just got some new SPY goggles. Kelly got some new SPY goggles. And you and I got an opportunity to get a sneak peek into, was it spring 2022?
Yeah,
I know we can't share it with you guys, but good Lord.
Yeah, that was a good sneak peek today.
What'd you think of those colorways?
Yeah, I call dibs on mine.
I know that was a good colorway. So folks, stay tuned. There's some great colorways coming from Optic for their foundation goggles for us on the mountain bike. So man, I can't wait to get into this one. So we all are out there riding all the time, and the one thing that's always sitting on the ground, the thing that touches the ground the most, is our tires. And a lot of times, we look around, I see Maxxis. Most of the time I see Maxxis.
Right.
What else do we see out there? Mainly Maxxis.
Ooh, that's the one I always see.
I always see Max. I think I saw Air Blair, who's on the line tonight. I saw Air Blair on some Michelins, I believe. He had Michelins on. But then I saw Aaron from the Trail Dogs, boy, a couple months ago, riding these sick tires with his cool logo on the side that said Versus. And it really stands out because you're used to seeing that Maxxis logo. Then you see Versus tires, and he had these like blue specks on it, like blue speckled designs. And it really stood out on his bike. And of course, he rips. And so I started looking into it, and come to find out that Maxxis, Maxxis, as we all know, is just this big company. But do you ever get to talk to the people at Maxxis? Like, I know I haven't. No. But you see these Versus tires that are rad, and you see guys like Cole Pseudos on them. You see the Trail Dogs on them. I'm recently starting to ride them, and they're local. And the owner is a guy named Scott, and he is just the most down-to-earth dude that you can actually talk to. He's actually at our events. When we had the Snow Valley ride for Mr. Ernie.
Snow Valley, that's right.
Mm-hmm. He was there. Big Bear, he's there. When you and I did the Ville races, and when you and I raced, Scotty was there. Versus is always there. So I thought this was a great opportunity to talk tires, the thing that's on the ground the most when we're out on the bikes, the things that we need the most. Heck, if the tire goes out, man, our ride's over.
Yes.
So thought it was an important, integral person for us to have. So ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our guest, Mr. Scotty, the owner of Versus Tires.
Here it comes. There.
Yo, there he is. What's up, Scotty?
Hi.
Welcome to the podcast, buddy. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
how's your day going so far?
Good. Yeah, just working. I'm still working, so I did that, and now I'm talking about bikes. So I'm still
nice. That is awesome. Speaking of work, we're hoping to give you a little bit more work. I know for the podcast, I'll definitely say it now, then I'll say it again later. But for those of you who are looking for tires and just want to try out Versus tires, first of all, Scotty's a local guy. The tires are awesome. I've been on mine since the Snow Valley ride. The Trail Dogs have been on theirs for longer than that. Cole Pseudos is on the Versus tires. But if
he's not. He's on a different tire. He's ridden them. I just won't say he likes them, but he's on another team. His dad, though, Sean, is like one of my best friends for 30 years or something like that. So yeah, he's on them. So nice. Cole's ridden them, but he's sponsored by another company who does different products. But yeah.
Gotcha. But we know he's rolled on them before. His dad loves them. And there is a promo code. If you go to versustires.com and check out tires right now, you can definitely pick up a set. And if you enter promo code Versus the segment, you can get t-shirts there for $5 or the long sleeves for $15. But just check it out. And we'll get into Scotty's story here in a second.
That's with the purchase of tires too. So it's not. Yeah.
Yeah, with the purchase of tires. And speaking of the purchase of these tires, are like, I had purchased an Assegai who I have no idea who made it and never got to talk to the creators. Nobody from Maxxis I talked to. But when I purchased the tires from you, Scotty, I got like a whole thing about what they are, what those accordion things are and everything. So it's just like cool that you're local and cool that you're all the events, and supporting us all. I love it. I love the company. I've been on the tires and I love them. So, but let's get into who is Scott and who are you as a mountain biker?
So, I've been riding bikes my whole life, like most of us, right? And then, and I kind of, I mean, my first mountain bike. So my first mountain bike, no, second one. So my first mountain bike was a Fuji, whatever. But then my second one was a basically a unicorn. I had a Super V4000 Cannondale, which was like the first purpose-oriented downhill bike. And I was just like a skateboarder guy that went and just bashed in this thing because that's what I did. And I'd be at Mammoth or wherever, and like people are like, "Oh, that's such a rad bike. That thing's so sick." I'm like, "Dude, your bike's insane. What are you talking about?" And then it turns out, like I said, I wanted to get new brakes for it because the brakes would fade and I wouldn't have brakes anymore towards the end of the run. And I told the shop, and they're like, "Oh, do you have it here?" Like, I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Oh, can you bring it in? I never even seen one of those." And I was like, "Wow, that's weird," you know. So I brought it in. Like, yeah, these are super rare. Like, you should probably just sell this and buy a different bike. So I was like, all right. So I sold it. And then and I bought a Session 77. And then that was kind of it, right? Then it's like Mammoth Bike Park. We went to Summit. I went to Summit on the Super V4000. I think there was a Norber race or something like that day. So we had to like ride the backcountry hills, and it wasn't as much fun. But yeah, then once I got that other bike, it was all that's really been it.
Holy smokes. Awesome. And then as far as bikes go, like what's your current bike right now? What are you riding right now?
Evil Reckoning, the V3, the wreck, like
ooh,
trophy
dang.
truck, monster truck, like whatever, does whatever you want it to do.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I know some of the trail dogs are partial to the Evil bikes there. That's a great brand.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of bikes, and it's a pedalable downhill bike. It's unreal. Like I'm blown away by how well it climbs, and I haven't touched the limit downhill, which I haven't got to ride as much as I'd like. I'm still kind of recovering from an injury, but it's unreal.
Yeah, and you were saying on injury, so you're in the collarbone club like a lot of us, and
6.
you're healing from your sixth collarbone. Jeez, my
Well,
goodness.
so mine more is I exploded my heel at Kamikaze Games it's 5 years ago now, but yeah, it's then we had a kid and I started a company, so
Yeah.
yeah, it's still pretty fresh in my mind, that sound and that feeling, but
Oh,
I'm getting there, so yeah.
yeah. Man, the road to recovery. They always say the comeback is better than the setback. But yeah.
You appreciate it. That's what nice thing about getting older, though. You appreciate it more, and like it's like Snow Valley Day was like that was so much fun, just cruising with everyone and just having like just a great time just on your bike, and you're just so stoked to be out there, and that's kind of a nice perk of age, I guess.
Yeah, really just kind of taking it in, appreciating it. Sometimes it's more than just the ride itself, right? It's like the company that you're with, the location that you're at, looking at the
Oh, for
views.
sure.
It's just like take it all in. It's so good.
Yeah. Like I love it. I mean, that's a lot of the reason why I started the tire company and started a brand, was just because it feels like it's such a rad community, and it's just so fun, and everyone's into riding bikes because you like riding bikes, and it's just super cool.
So yeah, let's talk about that. So you're looking around, you're riding your bike, and then there's tires of different companies. I saw somebody put in here WTB tires. They rode those Michelin's, Kenda, Maxxis. And what got you interested in entering into the bike tire market?
So, I mean, I've done design and branding in this space for 20 something years. And a really good friend of mine is Ronnie from the Shadow Conspiracy, the BMX brand.
Hmm.
And I specifically remember this because I was talking with him, and if you've ever talked to him, he has a very raspy, unique voice. But he's like, yeah, just figure out the hardest thing there is to make, and then figure out how to make it. So I was like, okay. And then that's when I got hurt. This is right before I got hurt, and then I broke my heel, and I was like, why isn't there like a direct to consumer tire company? And why isn't there a YT of tires, to put it simply? And then I
Hmm.
kind of made some emails to people I know through my connections in that world, and figured out that it could be doable. So I started to design tires. I was like, let's just do it. Because I kind of knew, growing up or whatever, like how it sounds weird. I would start a brand, around in my 40s, and I just ran it, just rolling the dice and figuring out I can do it, calling it favors and trying it.
Hmm. And what did you learn when you were starting to get into this space? Was it really difficult? Was it really important that you had your connections to get started?
That's the only way I could do it. Like, it's really from, I'm I have friends that have started pretty solid companies and that know things. Like I said, Ronnie from Shadow Conspiracy and John Lee and a bunch of people like that helped me a lot. And um, I leveraged as many relationships and as much as I could, and like that's one nice thing. Like I said about my career is I've worked with all these people and I've helped them out a lot. Like, and I was able to call and like most of my old clients are friends now, so I was able to I'm able to call them if I have a problem. Like Kevin from Evil, like I text him fairly regularly, and he's because he does his story is almost exactly the same as mine. We both did graphic design and branding in the kind of action sports world, and he started Evil, and then whatever 8-10 years later I started Versus. So
wow, that's really cool. It's cool how a passion like this can turn into a business, can turn into
yeah.
Evil, it can turn into Versus Tires, it can turn into YT. With your design background, did you notice a gap in the market based on what was currently out there tire wise?
As far as a brand, yes, for sure. I mean, like I said, that's where I was like, why isn't there a direct tire company? I mean, we've all done it. We've all bought tires. So that means not to go back too much to my getting hurt story, but so I bought 3 Schwalbe tires and 4 Schwalbe tires to go to kamikaze games, and I broke my foot. My wife was pregnant. It's like, dude, I just spent $300 something on tires. I'm not riding for a long time. Like my foot was mangled. And then it's like I can't sell them. Like what? Like we're having a kid in 4 months, So it was just,
Good grief.
and it was gnarly. And then like I said, I was just like, why isn't anyone doing it? And I was like, why shouldn't it be me? Like I have experience, at least creating some brands or working for brands, and I have friends that can help me. So just do it. And then I
Yeah.
designed the tire, and then it took forever to get a sample, and then it took forever to get production.
Wow. Just all the different things you have to go through in order to bring product to market, huh?
Oh yeah, it was like I mean it was like 15 months before I saw a sample, and then
Holy crap.
and then months longer before I saw another year after that before I got production. And that was
Oh,
before COVID. The whole COVID
oh
thing is like, I mean, now I can't imagine, you're just looking down an endless tunnel to try to get things done. But thankfully I was in before that and I had a good solid tire that that I could build on. But yeah, it was a long process.
wow. Joey, if we could, let's bring up some of those tires on screen just so we can start to talk about them, because the tires that I'm on currently are I think I've got the downhill casing tires, right?
Yeah.
Those are the trail casing right there. Gravity casing, that's what I'm riding right now. And you created this edge to the sidewall that's like an accordion. Can you tell us a little bit about that creation?
Yeah, so that's exactly what it is, right? There's an accordion fold on the side of the tire, on the leading edge, which lets the leading outer edge of the tire mold to the conform to the train a little bit, and
Okay.
and that's something that seems to work. Like it's just something I thought could work, and then I designed it into the thing, and it seems to help with the with turning capabilities and stuff like that too. And what's nice too is it also almost lets the tire ride as a little bit wider.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, and it seems to work well.
Yeah, I've noticed that too since I've had those on, Scotty. They definitely are, and I could in the casing on the side is also a little bit different because I was coming off of Asagai's, and I can run these gravity tires a lot lower in PSI and get a bigger footprint when I'm out there on the trails. And what is in that casing that lets me do that without burping the tire at all? It's pretty awesome.
So there's a butyl rubber impregnated mesh that goes from bead to bead, right? So that kind of helps stops punctures, but it also stops air seepage. So that lets you run a lower pressure. It lets you not have to check your tires as often. You can run. I mean, I set up a new set of I9 wheels, downhill wheels, over a month ago,
Hmm.
and I don't think I've put any air in the front one at all. I just added some to the rear because I'm giant and I needed to. But so yeah, it has that, and then just in general, people tend to run a couple psi lower on their tires, versus versus than what they used to do on their other ones.
Yeah, interesting. That's pretty cool that you thought of that. Drew is asking, MTBDH is saying, how are they to mount? A lot of DH casings suck to mount.
For the most part, they're really easy. A lot of them you can, like the set on my i9s, I didn't even use a tire iron. I just popped them on with my hands. Some of them can be a little bit harder. Like it seems to be wheel by wheel. I know that Juan Pablo Raba had problems with his first set, but then the next set was fine. So, but once they're on, and they work really well. So for the vast, I'm talking about gravities, right? The trails all seem to be super easy, but for the most part, it seems to be rim to rim with the gravities, whether it's a little bit more difficult or not. But they all do go on, and you know, you just got to use tricks. If you put them in the sun, if you use soap and water, there's kind of different ways you could do it to help out.
Yeah, and the ones that I got from you, I've got the gravities as well. And Drew, I actually just use my hands to get it on there, and then I use my hand pump to lock the beads in, and it turned out fine. I actually did the big no. I did it the night before a sky park ride.
Yeah.
So
I mean, my wife and we just went to BME Brian Head, and I put gravities on her bike, on her Levo SL, like before we left that morning. So those were the first ones that I had a little bit of difficulty, but then I put new ones on mine. Like it was, you know, it took me 2 minutes to do. So even that's not hard. It just is a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, and these are just Drew, we're talking about the DH ones, so like the thicker big ones. The trail ones are pretty easy. I'm assuming. I've never ridden the trail ones, but it's got to be because it's a little less rubber.
Yeah, there's only, I mean, I've only heard of 3 or 4 people that had a not even a substantial problem, that were like, this was hard to put on, and that was out of, you know, hundreds of tires. So
yeah. And the cool thing is, if something happens, like it's versus tires at Scotty, he's local, we can actually get a hold of somebody. Versus at Maxxis, it's like, let me issue a ticket number 325,126.
Yeah, I mean, I responded. Yeah, like I responded DMs, like, and I'm not good at Facebook, but Instagram DMs, emails, like whatever, you know, or one of my crew will do it right away, or you can hit up Suedos at Greer or wherever it might be. We're out there to help, right? Because like we ride bikes, and we know what it's like, and that's one thing where we are working on, is like some tricks to help seat tires, and some, you know, if you have problems, like, because we've mounted thousands now, so yeah.
That's pretty cool. Marty Octodad says, congratulations, bro. Well done on keeping on going and not giving up. I love the party tires. Do you ship to New Zealand? He's out there in New Zealand.
We do. It's incredibly expensive to ship to New Zealand. The way to do it is to get a couple buddies together so you can split the shipping. But we are working on international distribution, and New Zealand and Australia is one of our primary focuses right now. Basically, excellent. EU/UK and New Zealand, Australia are like, that's where we want to get as soon as we can. There's a lot of interest, but it's just, you know, it's $150 to ship a set of tires. We sold them and we shipped them there. It was like, dude, I'm sorry, I don't want to charge you this much, but I can't lose money at the same time. So
yeah, get a couple of buddies to buy like a couple sets of tires, and then that'll help with the shipping.
I mean, because the ship of one set of tires is say $100, but the ship 3 sets might be $125 or $140. So then it's like, it's still expensive, right? Especially if you're here and it's used to kind of being free, or you know, in the US, but it's a lot better than just the one person.
Yeah, that makes sense. And these tires are pretty cool. I mean, I know the DH tires we were just talking about. That's actually the ones I have that Joey just popped up right there. I've got the yellow speckles on mine because my colors are the black and gold. But without even trying, I'm already up to my PR times, and that's with the gravity wheels that I have. They weigh a little bit more than the Asa guys, maybe a little bit, but they've got that cool ramp feature on the middle knobs. The knobs in the middle of the tire, they're like ramped up, so they roll pretty fast. And then when you get up to speed, they make this really cool hum sound that you feel like you're on some kind of futuristic bike.
Yeah, that's the hum, the Versus hum. But yeah, that's generally the first thing people comment on, is how fast they roll, like almost across the board. I gave some to Bryson from DVO. He just told me at the BMA race, he's like, dude, these things roll so fast. So yeah, and like that before the turning, you know, it's like, it's that, which is just kind of a happy coincidence, you know, like I thought it would work and it turned out it worked. So
that's awesome that it works. And you guys got some rad people. Holy cow, Crisco Bike, what's going on out there, dude? Thank you so much. We just got a super chat, $4.99. He's asking, could you describe the rolling feel on a ride? How does it corner, rolling over rocks and stuff like that?
For me, I mean, like they're pretty burly. Like, I mean, obviously I'm the owner, so I'm going to say that they're the best tires I've ever ridden. But I've been told by numerous people who know how to ride bikes a lot better than me that they're the best tires they've ever ridden. And a lot of stuff like you guys ride rear and stuff. There's a lot of corners and the weird switchbacks right out my house in North County where it's like, dude, I didn't expect to be able to cruise over that part, and I fully climbed right up. It grips really, really well. And I'm on the splatters like I'm not even on the black gravities or the stickier ones. I have the splatters on my bike and I'm blown away by how well they grip and how well they last. I'm 260 pounds and I was riding folding beads at Summit with all the pavers, and it's like they're still pretty good. Like for especially, I'm trying to keep up with Suedos, so it's you kind of have to be on your toes. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen the Suedos family out there at Greer, and I'm just like, there they are. There they go. Yeah. They're gone.
Yeah. Cole's like, yeah, right. Like you got to wake up really early and like have a lot of good health or good luck to, see him on the trail. So
you need like a telephoto lens where you can capture him as he's like disappearing into the abyss of the trails. But yeah, I mean, Christian at Crisco Bike, I've definitely felt the same. At Greer in the summertime, a lot of the rocks are very exposed because of just wear and tear on the trails. And I feel comfortable on these Versus tires. I'm able to actually use my bike tires at a lower PSI, and I don't lose any air when I'm riding like that. In fact, I was at Sky Park and I was running really low. I usually ride like 25 in the back, 21, 22 in the front. I was able to even drop down into like the 18s in the front and feel really good in the summer type conditions with the Versus tires. So hope that helps, Christian. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Anthony Correa actually has a question. He says, I'm curious why you chose 2.4 width and will you have other tire sizes in the future? That's a good question.
The 2.4 was kind of just so it could work for normal riding and also for racing. And I remember too, like I designed these in 2018, so that's a little bit. That was the 2.6s were kind of just starting to get popular, like they were, but they were still 2.4 was the primary one. So that's why I went with that. And a lot of people too, like they worry about 2.5 and 2.6, and it's like, but that's a very small. Like if you look at, that's 0.1 inches, so like. Cole Suedos is going to notice or Aaron Gwynn, but I think normal people aren't necessarily going to notice it. I do plan to do different sizes in the future. It's just especially with the backup right now. Like, I ordered my 27.5 last May, and it's finishing production this week. Like it was delayed a whole year, and yeah, so it's coming. It's just down the road.
Yeah. That's awesome. It's awesome that it's finally getting here. Crisco Bike, Christian out in Idaho says, I've been looking for a fast rolling trail ride for my HT. I'll pick a set up tomorrow to try them out. Great timing.
Yeah, you'll be stoked. There's quite a few hardtails with them. The only thing I would say is to make sure that your interior width on your rim is 25-ish or more. If it's a little bit older hardtail, then they tend to light bulb, and it still works, but it's just a little bit wiggly in the turns.
Yeah, so that'll be good. Don't forget to, and you'll be surprised at the price. I know we're talking about a local company and we're talking about Maxxis and all that stuff, but boy, the price on the Versus are incredible. Scotty, what's like for a pair of Versus tires? Say we're just going to use a trail tire. What's
so
that going?
$130 a set, right? So there's 68.50 a piece, I think, on the website, but $130 a set because I ride bikes and people buy 2 tires at a time. Black folding 130 a set, splatter folding are 142.50 a set, or the black gravity are 142.50 a set. And I think that the splatter gravity are 155 or so. And also, if you live outside of California, there's no tax. Orders over $100 get free shipping.
There you go.
Otherwise, it's $5 for shipping too. So it's like
that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all. And I mean, compare those to like a Maxxis tire where, I mean, I'm not trying to talk bad about Maxxis because I know a lot of people love them and they're a great tire, but to be able to support, a local business who's making tires, who's in the community, I mean, that's an amazing price. Like the price of one tire is almost the price of a set for this larger company that you never get to know.
Yeah, I mean I think that was a problem, right? And it's a problem that could be solved from inside of our world. So that's where I figured, why not me? And like I said, I'm trying to do it. I think it's doing
Yeah.
okay. People like the tires, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I actually like the tires and I love my Versus shirt. I got a Versus shirt when I bought those tires from you at the Snow Valley. So I got the snake one, which has
Right
been
here.
which has been great. Yeah, that one right there.
And there's like it turns into a snake there's a snake run. You jump over the tail. I don't know if you noticed that, Mark.
I didn't notice that. You're
Yeah,
jumping over. Look at this.
so here's the shirt, right? It
Yeah.
goes down, and right here you jump over the tail. So the top is a snake, but then it turns into a snake run.
Oh, no
No one, my
way.
wife doesn't get it. She's like, "What does that mean?" It's like, no, it turns into a snake run. That's the whole bike thing. Yeah, there you go. See,
There
yeah,
it
there's a jump
is.
over its tail. Yeah, that was like hours of drawing to make that kind of look right. No one ever sees it.
Oh,
That's like design world, though, right? Like,
that is awesome. So yeah, folks, don't forget. I mean, Christian, Crisco Bike, if you do, and Timothy, if you guys buy these tires, don't forget to put in the promo code versus the segment. And those t-shirts right there that are $37 will be down to $5. And then the long sleeve tees will be down to 15. So you also get a promo for being on the show tonight and listening to that promo code. Drew MTBDH says, not happy with Maxxis right now. 7 runs at Summit on brand new tires with a crash, and I destroyed the casing on both tires. Ooh, geez Louise.
yeah, I've had multiple knobs rip off on the first day on other brands, and it's like they're great tires, but then it's like you can see like the casing, right? So
Right. And hence having you on the inside, knowing the gaps and knowing what to really put more effort and money into it to making something that's going to last a little bit longer. I mean, geez, that's great. That's great. That's a great call out for versus tires versus something else. Right here, it's the Maxxis. I don't know, Drew. Were those the ASA guys you were running, or what were those? I'm just curious. Crisco Bikes, even he's still thinking about the T-shirt. He goes down to 5.
So if you buy a set of tires, add a shirt in, and then do that code, and it'll knock it down $22 basically. It'll knock $22 off your price. So the T-shirt will be $5, or the long sleeve or the crew neck will be whatever, 15.
MTBDH Drew saying, I had people asking how I bent carbon wheels. Oh my God. LOL. So yeah, man. Definitely, if you want, definitely reach out to Scotty, give him a shout out, check out those tires. And you have some in stock right now. Yeah, here we go. Asagai front, DHR2 in the rear, DD casing. Good grief. Just a couple runs. 7. Yeah.
We were at Bryan Head, and it was tire after tire after tire after, like, we were right next to the shop dude, to Rocky Mountain Wheel Works, I think, and he's just replacing tires all day long. I'm like, dude, why aren't you guys buying gravities for here? But
I know
what they did. So
I know. I saw poor Tony the Outsider on one of his videos. I think it was at Bryan Head. It was either Bryan Head or one of the ones at Utah. I think Bryan Head, just because Bryan Head the rocks look so gnarly. It looks like a mammoth-esque type of terrain. And yeah, he had a flat, went up, grabbed the other bike, and then I think that one got a flat. But yeah, I mean,
pretty brutal.
These are things that we need on our bike to be able to have stoke and to be able to go out and have fun with our friends. And it's nice to just put the tires on and not even think about it. Just be able to turn when you want to turn, get to the bottom when you want to get to the bottom, not have to worry about all the in-between stuff. So Scotty had a couple questions from you from some of the friends of the channel, and wanted to see if this was an okay time to give you an ask on these.
Yeah, whatever you got.
Sure Realistic Dreamer is saying that, is the rubber compound they use recyclable? He's wondering.
It is. I don't know I'm working on that, right? Because that's something I want to do when we go to events, is I want to take the dead tires and go and recycle them. It is recyclable. I'm not sure exactly how to tell you to recycle it, other than going to like Discount Tire and just giving them your old tires.
Okay.
Because they all shred it up. And what's nice about bike tires is there's not the radials in it, so it's more or less completely recyclable. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
downhill tires have the wire bead, but it's a lot less work for them to do that than it is to do the car tires.
Gotcha. MTB Rad Dad out in the Palm Springs, Coachella Valley, who rides out there. By the way, I rode out there, and that is some gnarly terrain, and that really tested the Versus tires, but they did great. He's asking, what made you do the colorful splatter design?
Just to be something different. Like I went through a business accelerator, the San Diego Sport Innovators, which is like you have to apply for, and I didn't even have a company at this point. So, and I did it twice, and then they took me on the second round. But it's like one of the guys, Bob Reef, was like one of the founders of Merrill Shoes, and he like ran Nike Golf with Reef shoes, and another, I forgot his name, but he was like the CMO of the Chargers. That's kind of level these people are, right? And Chip, my main mentor, was he does indoor board, but anyways, so like that's one thing, like you got to do color, which I was kind of thinking anyways. And then I saw that I think Colt had it in BMX, and I was like, we should do splatters. And I asked my factory, and they said, yeah, no problem. So that's how we did the splatters. And then the plan is to do a different color every 3 to 4 months. So the next one probably won't be until March-ish next year, but we're hoping to have 3 colors next year.
Nice. So right now we have the blue splatter, you got the straight black, and then you have the yellow splatter.
And with the yellow in the party tires, we're calling them, or in the gravities.
Got it. Those are cool. I get a lot of people asking me about the yellow splatter when I'm out there. And you called it. You're like, people are going to ask you about the yellow splatter when you're out there. And people do.
Yeah, the bike at the Vail Lake races or BME or any like that, they come up and look at it and like, what's this? And like, oh, I thought it was, someone did put the sealant in, and then it's like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Very polarizing though.
Yeah.
People either like it or they hate it.
Yeah. One or the other.
Yeah, it's kind of, to me, it's kind of cool. You can, like I tell people, it's like I have yellow on my bike. If you change your pedals and your grips and you put different color on, you kind of have a new bike, especially right now when you can't buy bikes. Like it's a pretty easy way to update your look.
Yeah, true. It did change the look of the bike, and I love it. Debbie Co is saying, I need some purple splatter to go with my oil slick components. Ooh, that could be a one for March.
It's on the list for sure. It's not March, but it's on the list. That's high on the list because I want purple. All these things are like, I was gonna buy back then. I'm like, I'm gonna get a 29. I was gonna get a carbine, so I was like, well, that means I have to make 29-inch tires. And it's all really whatever I kind of want to do. But purple is definitely on the list sooner than later.
That is so cool. You'll probably get a lot of the Deity folks coming over, grabbing up those purples, because Deity's really known for popping those colors. So that would be great. So see, there you go, Debbie. It is on the list. Purple is on the list. Got another question for you from Warm Pancakes. Warm Pancakes is saying, absolutely love the grip of my Versus tires. Any plans for a faster rolling / lower profile tire in the future?
Yes. Again, I'll probably be hoping for 2023. We'll see. But yeah, there's definitely, that is in the plans.
Would that be
one of the next ones?
Would that be in the gravity, or would that be in the trail, or just like all the different components?
I'll probably do both. Probably do gravity and trail. Like I'll probably just kind of do both of them. There's no real reason for me not to, because my factory can use the same mold or same mold for both of them, so it's somewhat easy. It like helps you split the mold cost really, which is insane. So
okay, so yeah, if you're already getting the mold, might as well. So that makes sense. That'll be fun. One of the trail dogs asked a question throughout the day's IG story, and it was Isaiah Bernstein. Isaiah asked, how do these tires make us so fast? So, and they're in that, I mean, he's being funny as he's saying that, but it literally is true. I was saying earlier that without even trying to beat any of my PRs, just rolling, just regular riding without caring about times, my times later looking back are right on my PRs. What is there a design on that?
I'm telling myself it's the ramping, and I think the casing. I think it's all working together to do that. But that is generally one of the, if not the first, one of the first comments most people have is how fast they roll. Van Can, the YouTuber, was like, these things roll so fast. So yeah, just I'm not trying to name drop here, but it's the majority of people like all comment on how fast they roll, which is cool. Like, I don't know, it's fun for me. I'm still a designer. I'm still a bike nerd, right? Like, so it's kind of cool when people get stoked on the stuff that I designed and they like it and it works well for them. It's rad.
Right. I mean, speaking of those, Joey, if you scroll down to the bottom of Scott's website, there is a plethora of people down there that have tried out the tires. I saw the Lone Ranger is in there. There's a Van Cam is in there. There's just a whole bunch of people that have tried out these tires. So it's cool that you're a local guy, but also all these people have ridden those tires, which is awesome. So,
To me,
anyways.
like the dad launched Dorfling wrote, and he's like, "Those tires look great." I'm like, "Yeah, thanks, man. You wanted some?" And like, he's the coolest dude. Like, he was like my favorite Rampage rider, like doing Rampage in tank tops, and he's on my tires now, and he's super stoked on them. Like, we're working on trying to get him a film project and stuff, you know. So it's really cool. Like, because I'm still, like I said, I'm still the bike guy, and I just still get excited when people want to try them out. Like, a couple other Rampage guys are on them too, and it's like, that's, to me, you know, if they can't beat them up, if they like them and they work well for them, like the rest of us, we're going to be okay, because
Yeah.
they're going to ride it harder than most of us ever could imagine. So
Yeah, that's a great way to do it. I saw Pink Bike was on there as well at the bottom of your website. And speaking of the Rampage riders, you literally just got a new Rampage rider. Tell us a little bit about who that is, or can you tell us who that
no,
is?
I mean, he just bought us at a time, just a BME this past weekend. So Kickstand, Jeremy Kickstand, he did Rampage, I think, in 2015, and then he had an incredibly gnarly accident at Proving Grounds in 18, I think, 18 or 19, and like out of body experience to watch himself crashing type bad accident, and he just put them on. He Instagrammed it yesterday. These are great. Like, these roll so fast. Like, they grip so well. It's like, man. And then Will White too is also on some. He's super stoked on them too. So it's cool. But like, because I've watched that forever, so it's cool for me to see those guys super stoked on it. And, you know,
Right.
like, I'm not paying them to ride them. I'm just like, you know, giving them a set or give them a deal on a set or whatever it is, and it's pretty cool for me.
Is it feel weird when they're calling you like, "Hey man, can I get a set of these tires?" You're like, "Oh," you're like, you're a fan, but you're still a businessman, so it's kind of like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is wait,
It's
you want my tires?"
Yeah, no. So I mean, I've had, you know, in my design world, I've dealt with some of that with, like, you know, some people, so I'm a little bit used to it. But yeah, for sure, it's still really weird, and even going to events and people talking to you, and like, just like, I'm still just a normal person, you know. So it's really cool to see people like what I'm doing, and be really stoked on it and supportive, and like, people love that, you know, like, it's me doing it, me and my wife, and it's like, we're trying to create this company and help people out, and hopefully get people on bikes, you know, and try to just do it. So it's really awesome though. I love it.
Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, I definitely got a flavor for it when we were all at Snow Valley for Ernie there with Transcend MTB. And at the end, we all stayed till the end, but then Christian, but then we were like, loading up your van. Like, this is your van. We're
Yeah,
loading
that's my
everything back
personal
up.
van. Like, I took my
Yeah.
kid's car seat out of the back to get us up there. But yeah, that was
Right.
that one weird thing about Ernie, man, is like, I'm really sad, but we talked, and it turns out we played baseball against each other when we were kids, because
No
he was like a
way.
year younger than me or something like that. So he was in National League, I think, in Escondido, and I was in American League. So like, we battled for baseball championships.
Oh, wow.
It's so weird. Such a
That
small world.
that was such a small world. Ernie was such a good dude, and it was crazy because it hit us all hard because a lot of us were helping him plan the event. He was reaching out to all of us to make sure that we could show up or support it in one way or the other. And then we got the news that was like, man, I can't believe he's gone. That
Yeah.
that hit me pretty hard because just one day you're talking to somebody and trying to help build something for their dreams, and then the next day, that story, that chapter is closed, that book closed. It's like, how'd that happen? But it was great that we were all there, and I was so stoked to see you there. That was very
Plus,
cool.
he built such a rad community. Like, that group is so cool, and like, everyone's just super stoked on bikes, and they're just up there doing their thing, and Like that really to me is a lot of the vibe of mountain biking. It's just like they had the whole fun ride bikes have fun thing, which another company trademarked after I started using it. But
yeah, damn it.
but yeah, but it's like we're on bikes, right? Like just have a good time. Like, if you're fast, rad. If you want to have fun, if you want to like my whole challenge, everything. It doesn't have to be you're trying to get the fastest down the hill. It could be doing a long wheelie or just trying to climb something you've never climbed or make it down a trail, like whatever it could be.
Yeah,
Have
just
fun.
having fun. Exactly. That fun, that's the common denominator that we all have on the bikes is just that stoke, that fun. And then it breeds that camaraderie in that community, which Ernie was definitely a pillar in that way. And his group still, Transcend MTB, is so big, such a large group. I think last time I talked to them, they're about 4,000 members.
Yeah, super. I just built a tent for them. I just had a tent built, like literally, it's at my house right now. I have to get in touch to give it to them. It just got delivered. They don't even know that, so they're finding out right now.
Oh man!
As soon as I get my van back from the shop, they can have their tent.
That's awesome. So you heard it here, Kylan and Jeff Lanuzzo and the Sarge. If you guys are all on here, you hear it that there's a tent being made for you by Scotty at Versus Tires. So I can't wait to see what that looks like. That's going to be awesome. That's going to be awesome. A couple more questions for you here. MTB Rad Dad, Adam Miller, he does a lot of reviews on YouTube. He's asking, can I get a set to review? He's putting you on the spot for that. How about, go ahead, Scotty.
I was just saying, just DM me and we could try to figure something out. Like there's a lot of people that want tires to review, and I have some, so we could try to figure something out.
There you go. So DM Scotty on his Instagram, MTB Rad Dads. He says LOL. He's put me on the spot there on that one. But give Scotty a DM at Versus Tires. You'll see him on the Instagram there. Generation MTB Rad Group. I believe they're out of Corona, and I think it's Austin who's the leader of that mountain bike group. He's asking, any new colors coming in soon? I think we kind of talked a bit about that, but did you want to review, or are you allowed to say what colors you're thinking of releasing next?
I don't announce until we do it. There's one I have it scheduled, I think, for March. Ooh. And then we have the April Fool's drop that we did last year. We're going to do something along those lines. So hopefully we have to see if the whole backup and shipping and all of that, but the plan is to do new color 29 and 275. All the tires will be hopefully in March.
Dang, both trail and gravity.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Sweet. Crisco Bike says these tires might be too rad for the rad dad. Hey, there's Kylan right there. Kylan's on. Nally Kylan, what's up, buddy? Transcend in the house. So awesome.
Your tent is done.
So it's done, Kylan. It's done. It's just there. So to be delivered soon. It'll be great. It'll be awesome. Scotty, as far as anything else goes, what are your plans for Versus in the next coming years, and how best as a mountain bike community can we help support you? Because I know you're at all the different events. In fact, I don't know if you were here, but Christian was actually asking, was he at the Boise Bike Festival? When was that?
I was not. I plan to do more. This year was hard because we ran out. My main tire to sell was the black folding tire, which was on that Vital Mountain Bikes, the Privateer 161, I think, the Dream Build, and I ran out of those in like late February. So, and I just got them in like literally yesterday. I shipped them all out. So, as I have tires, I can do more events. And so the plan is to do more. I think the next one, so I'll be at Sea Otter in a couple weeks, and then I'm going to be at Sedona Mountain Bike Fest.
Nice.
And at any events, we have kind of specials, like because we don't have to ship them, and then also just to get people stoked to get them out.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the spring, probably do Bootleg Canyon series, maybe some Fontanas, and just as much as I can, really. Try to do BMEs. That was a really cool event. Try to do some CES races, and then maybe do some East Coast stuff if one of my friends moves over there, who's talking about moving over there. So he might take over East Coast kind of marketing for me. We'll see.
That'll be nice. Kylan says that's awesome. Crisco Bike saying possibly see you at the Sedona Fest. Yeah, a lot of us will be there. Sedona, so we'll definitely be there. I know Joey and his wife and my wife and I are going to be out there at Sedona as well. That's going to be an awesome time, man. I think a lot of people are looking forward to that.
Yeah, that place is like unreal, like Disneyland for bikes. So it's like
So
it's just I can't
good.
wait to go out there. And like
So good.
I'll have my 275s by then too, which will be nice because people have been asking about those for like a year and a half. So
yeah, I know the trail dogs. I think Isaiah's on 275, and he's like, I cannot wait for those things to come in. MTB Rad Dad saying Sedona. Now, I met you because the owner of TASCO, Nate Miller, introduced me to you, and you were right by the TASCO tent. Will you be by the TASCO tent in Sedona as well?
I don't know. I mean, I'd love to because I'm friends with him, right? And he rides my trails, or we ride the same trails. So that would be cool. But I don't think that we get to choose as much. Like, there's some kind of wiggle around. Plus, it's like they'll probably put me with other tire companies or something. And I don't know. We'll see.
Gotcha. Either way, it's going to be awesome, man. It's going to be fun. I can't wait for the Sedona Fest. Now you have 275 tires coming in, but you can pre-order those, right?
Yeah. So we had the pre-order. So with what we're doing, the folding beta finishing production like literally today or next week, and then all the pre-orders I'm air freighting the tires in so I can get them out as soon as I can to the people. The gravity beads are slated for production in November. So yeah, like if people want to pre-order, like you can get like the discount code works with the pre-order, so they could get throw a shirt in their cart, and then they get for basically $5 for a shirt, and we'll get them out to them as soon as we can. I'm really hoping to have those 275 trail pre-orders sent before Sea Otter. Really, like October, first week of October is my goal. So we'll have to see. I think they should hopefully be able to ship out of there next week. So if that happens, it's totally doable.
Nice. That's rad. MTB Rad Dad says I'm 27.5. Timothy Haley says I'm rocking 27.5. And then MTB Rad Dad saying air freight is smart. Bypass
air freight is expensive.
Is it? Oh,
it's
man.
$10 to $12 a tire to ship.
Holy smokes. But you'll get them at least versus being stuck on those boats out there forever.
Yeah, like I'll have some, right? And like especially for going to Sedona or going to Sea Otter, like you want to have tires to show people. So that's the plan.
Yeah, that's going to be great. And I know a lot of times if we see you at these events, if we buy tires from you, then you actually have an air compressor. We slap those suckers on and go do some laps right then and there, which is awesome.
That's the plan. I have to get better at that. But that is the idea, is to I want to get sealant and have the valve stems and just ready to go if you need it. Like, because I mean, unless you have cush core, it's pretty easy to put on tires. It's even the difficult downhill tires is fairly doable. It's manageable. So
yeah. MTB Rad Dad's asking a question. He says, Scott, do you have a rep for FedEx or UPS? Adam, who is MTB Rad Dad, works at a camera company, says that at my work we get crazy discounts for shipping a lot.
FedEx. So through that business accelerator I met the FedEx rep, and he fully hooked me up. Like I have a way better discount than I should have for the size of company I am, which hopefully FedEx doesn't hear this and get him in trouble. But yes, I do, and that saves a ton. But it's international. It's shipping from Asia to here. It's just, especially right now, it's insane.
Gotcha. With the current conditions, man. Well, I'm really happy that you're in business. I'm really happy that you have a great product out there. I know a lot of these. We got some Rampage riders on it. I know Joey, Mr. Uncaged MTB, wants to get on them. We got a couple of folks in the audience who want to get on them. Trail dogs are on them. I'm on them. It's just great to be able to pedal out and look around and see a little bit of diversity on the tires out there. We see Versus now instead of just a CM-Axis, which is great to see Versus, because when I see Versus, I think of you, Scotty. I think of Pseudos. I think of, the trail dogs. Just I think of like friends and fun, and they're awesome tires. So it's a good feeling. When I see Maxxis, I think of like kind of more stuffy. Not that I'm definitely trying not to talk bad about Maxxis. I just don't know them at all. I don't know who they are. I don't know anybody there. But it's, they're everywhere. And it's just like, there's a tire. You just see a tire. Versus has a personality.
they make great tires. Yeah, I can't, you can't knock them on their tires. And there's other, Schwalbe makes great tires, Michelin, they all make super good tires. But like you said, that's something that like we're coming from within our industry. Like there's what WTB and I think E13 and us that are rider owned true companies. So,
Yeah.
like there's other options than the giant gorillas in the world.
Right. Writer owned, writer approved. Exactly.
Yep.
I love that. Debbie is saying, I'm due for some tires. Really curious to try them. So good,
Yeah.
Deb. Give them a shot. See what you think. Crisco Bike saying, DeMarc, just say Maxis is stuffy. I'm just personifying them. I think of Versus and it has a personality to me because I know Scott, because he's a local guy. He rides the same trails that I ride. He sees the same things that I do, and he makes tires based on making us have stoke, which is awesome. Uncaged MTB says, ordering mine tonight. Awesome. Awesome, Uncaged MTB. Don't forget the promo code Versus the segment if you want to throw in a t-shirt on there as well. Trail Dogs is saying, I loved racing on my Versus tires. Yeah. Those boys did pretty good during the season as well. He
was crushing it.
Yeah. I don't know if this is Aaron or Isaiah, but I know Aaron's going to be making his way back. He's got a hurt foot, and he'll be making his way back.
He scrubbed too hard.
Yeah. And for those of you who haven't seen the video, he was talking to his brother Isaiah. He goes, "You got to scrub it, bro. You got to scrub it like this." And then that's when he crashed. Treadlife saying, "Get the DH casing, Joey."
That's the way it lasts. A lot of people do that because they roll so fast that negates the weight penalty, right? So it's, it's just because they are a heavier tire for sure. But if it rolls faster and you get way more protection. My theory with a lot of this is get a heavier tire to protect your light wheels, to protect your Spoke X and I9, Eagle, whatever their wheels are.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good build with the Spoke X tires on there, with Spoke X wheels on there. Heck yeah.
Like those rainbows, the rainbow ones are insane.
I know.
They're so good.
Hunter and Hobby, they do such a great job over there. They're always like building out some crazy stuff. It looks so good. I see Eva is on the line. That is awesome. Expeditionary Veterans Association is here. He says, can't wait to try a set on my new incoming bike. Ooh, what did you get? Jacob Cruz, did you get something new? Tell us. I wonder what it is. MTB Rad Dad says, I would go trail. And then he says, I'm pretty picky on my tires. So I wonder what he's gonna do. He's gonna go trail with some splatter.
He should, if he's in Palm Springs, he should get gravities. Like unless he's quite light, like that's rocky, gnarly terrain out there.
It is. A lot of that stuff was.
But the trails do hold up pretty well, like as good as anything else. But if you get the extra protection with the rolling speed, the black ones are extra sticky.
Yeah. I would suggest the gravity too, based on what I saw. We rode Cathedral Cove and a trail called Cat Canyon. Also too, there was one called Han, and it was literally like that shale rock everywhere on the trail, and you just like it's just hitting the casing is just all over the place, and you're like, holy crap. There's exposure everywhere.
Yeah.
Right. Jacob Cruz, Eva for Expeditionary Veterans Association says Husky. Getting a Husky. My new incoming bike. Can't wait to see what that build looks like. Got a couple more questions for you, Scotty, before we go. I used to ask people this a lot, and it's more just for fun. It is like completely not bike related, but I would always ask it towards the end of the show just to see what people would say. And it's stuff like this. So, Scotty, is cereal a soup? Yes or why or why not?
I don't think it's a soup because you can eat it without liquid. Like my son doesn't like milk in a soup. He likes milk. He won't eat it with his cereal. So I think that it's not a soup.
Dang, that's man. My little one's the same way. He doesn't like milk in his cereal. So yeah,
totally drinks it. Not in cereal though. Nope.
Yeah,
Cocoa Puffs solo.
Right. Same. I'm digging that. I can get that. That's awesome. So you heard it here, folks. Scott says cereal is not a soup. Okay. Next one is if you wanted in the tire industry. Let's say you wanted to start some kind of big conspiracy, what conspiracy would it be?
Oh, I don't really know. That expensive tires are better tires.
There you go. There you go.
Which people believe, you understand it, but yeah, it doesn't always have to be true.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's very true. We can vouch for that based on what the products that we have right here on the show tonight. I mean, these tires are. I was talking to, I think it was Jeff Lanuzo. He asked how much I paid for the set, and I was like, "Man, you can get a set of tires for like $120, $130." He's like, "What? That is awesome!" So he's as soon as his Kendas are ready, he's going to give it a shot. All right, the last funky question for you, then we can wind the podcast down. Unless anybody else out there has questions they want to ask Scotty, the owner of Versus Tires. So the last question for you, Scotty, is this, and it's actually from Christian, who's Crisco Bike. He told me to ask you: is a hot dog, or is a hot dog a sandwich? And I'm sorry, these are totally silly.
No, it's fine. So I would say a hot dog is a hot dog, and part of the reason for that is because they were going to name them dachshund dogs, but they said it was too gross because they were actually almost named after the dachshund, the hot dog dogs, but they said that was too weird. Yeah, I know random facts like that all over the place, but yeah, I read that not that long ago.
I knew I was asking the right guy.
And plus right? It's not like this, a sandwich. It's like this. So it's kind of its own deal. Like,
True.
it's not, if you split the bun on the hot dog bun, then it would be a sandwich, but
that's true.
Nobody does that.
It's more like a catcher. It's almost like it could almost be in the taco category.
Yeah. It's like a bread taco.
Right. Isaiah from Chetha says, a taco. We have Isaiah also says, I switched over from Kenda to Versus. MTB Rad Dad says, I've got 2 wiener dogs. And then Double R is chiming in. He says, it's more of a taco. Expeditionary Veterans Association, Mr. Jacob Cruz says he's got a 2021 HUSQ Varna HC7, aka Husky. Okay, gotcha. Cool.
Swedish Husqvarna.
Congratulations on that bike. Man, I love everything that they're doing over there. EVA doing everything for the veterans and getting them out on the trails and helping everybody out with PTSD. That's such a rad company. It's such a rad organization he's got. So I'm curious if he's going to be running some Versus on some of those tires. Oh, Isaiah says he runs 2.8.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. No, not yet, huh? Biggest you have is 2.4 right now, right, Scott?
We have all the sizes anyone could want as long as they're 2.4 inches wide.
Gotcha. 2.4.
Only 2.4 right now.
Awesome. Well, man, I know you're busy, man. I know you have the family and you have the business and you have yourself with biking time and everything. I really appreciate you jumping on the Segment podcast with us tonight. It's been great to hear the story on how it started. It's great to know that you're a local rider, riding the same trails that all of us here on the line ride, and the folks that are listening in iTunes and Spotify and Google Podcasts. If you need to get a hold of Scott for anything on questions, Scotty, where's the best place that people can reach out to you?
Probably Instagram DMs, really. I try to respond to all of them. You could also email contact@VersusTires. Those are basically the 2 ways to get in touch. But yeah, one of those works.
Nice. So yeah, give them a DM if you have any questions. If you want to try out the tires and you're not at a local event where Scotty is and you just want to order some, don't forget to put the promo code on there. A set of tires literally is about the same price as one of the, Maxxis tires that are out there, but it's very close to it. You can get a set of tires for a really good price. And just know that a lot of us are out there riding it. Eva for PTSD saying, yeah, thanks, Scott, for bringing Versus to SoCal. Masses support the locals. Yeah, you got a fist pump and a shaka. Awesome. All right, Scotty and everybody, thank you so much. Scotty, is there anything you want to say in closing about Versus or to the MTB community that we have on the line tonight?
This is just about Versus. One thing I should mention is the email list. If you want to sign up for my email list, you get a discount code, $5. Plus, we let people know about this kind of special email list only sales and special drops and like just kind of heads up. Like the yellow tires I had, we let the email list know like, hey, these are going up at 10:30 or 11 o'clock or whatever it is tomorrow morning, and they're gone in like an hour.
Dang.
Because they grabbed them all. So yeah, so that's a good way. Like I said, we don't spam you. We don't send junk. We just kind of let people know what deals or special stuff like Can or whoever it is have a new video up. Check it out. So.
Awesome. That's awesome. And that's going to be at the versustires.com website where we could sign up for that.
Yep.
Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. Well, Scotty, thank you so much. Everybody, thank you for being on the line. Mr. Joey, the producer, thank you so much for being here. MT Brad Death saying, I like to support the smaller companies. Heck yeah, man.
Thank you.
Me too. Me too. And with that being said, everybody, have a great night. We look forward to seeing you out on the trails. And actually, now that you've seen Scotty and you see him out on the trails, go up to him, say hello, and know he is the guy putting a lot of us on the trails with some awesome Versus tires.
Cool.
All right, everybody. Have a great night. We'll talk to you all soon.
Thank you.
Yoo-hoo.